What? How freaking pumped are you right now?
Pumped? Not very.
How excited are you right now?
Not very.
I don't want the truth. I want you to pretend like you're super excited.
So excited.
Pretend like you're as excited as I am right now.
Onto a street
What?
in the cold.
Oh, yes. Well, we don't recommend that. It's not something that we choose to do, you know. We would much rather shake down a brand new car at a racetrack.
Do what we say, not what we do.
Yeah, do what we say, not what we do.
Damn it.
We would much rather take this thing to a racetrack its first time. But, you know, we don't really have that option now. Like, our local track is in a weird situation that nobody knows what's going on, and the weather is crap, so streetcar stuff. Man, your carbonators don't fit.
What?
Your carbonators don't fit under the hood.
Sure they do. The hood's down.
But the carbonators are you could literally change the jets without taking the hood up.
Well, I was thinking about making it like this so that we could change the plugs without taking it off.
Spiffy, getting him spiffy. Yeah, spiffinating him. Spiffing him up. Spiffing him up. Gotcha. Well,
There's a dead bug on here.
oh man, it must have been from 2 years ago.
When I was daily driving it around wheeling.
When he's just out there walking around the background.
Working.
Yeah, working. She's the hardest worker in the shop.
She's the general manager here.
Man, that thing's ugly without a scoop on it. Just kidding.
Excuse you?
I'm just kidding.
Those are brass wells.
I used to think that those scoops were ugly.
Were you raised in a barn?
I still think they're ugly, but what's a barn got it? What does that mean? So what if I was raised in a barn?
Man.
But
If my dad knew that you called them Braswell carburetors ugly.
I wasn't talking about the car. Clearly, the carburetors are, you know, carburetors. Clearly, they're clearly carburetors. You can see them from fucking space. You can see them from the moon that they're carburetors. But without a hood scoop on it, it's fucking ugly. Because it's just like two carbonators sticking up to the hood. It looks like a fucking 74 Vega bracket car.
Can I help you with anything?
No, that's it. I'm gonna probably get some air in the tires and get some fuel in it and charge a battery and stuff.
Oh, good. You know, your pit crew duties.
Oh, pit crew duties, man. I wasn't ready for this. All right.
All right.
You got nothing better to do?
I have a joke for you.
You have a wait. What, you have a joke for me?
Yeah, a dad
Does it
joke.
involve me spilling gas everywhere?
No.
All right.
Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
What kind of cars do the elves drive?
What kind of cars do elves drive?
Elves, yeah.
Elves?
Toyotas.
That's not bad. I got one. What do you call an elf? What do you call a deaf elf? Like an elf that can't hear.
I don't know.
Anything you want. That fucker can't hear you anyway.
Oh my god.
I got a better one.
Okay.
What's the worst Christmas present to get?
Cleaning supplies.
No, I like cleaning supplies. A sweater. Especially if you were hoping for a moaner or a screamer.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Underglows.
I thought that you were gonna go to the track, so I figured we'd have a little more time so I could get the street backup underglow lights going on, but we're going to the street first. So, solution, Snap-on, they're about solutions, expensive solutions.
Overpriced solutions.
I mean, this one's $10 a month for the rest of your life, but
That's a bargain.
it works good, and we've used it on just about every car we have. So, but I clean it off real good before I warranty it out with a Snap-on guy.
Hopefully he doesn't watch this.
Yeah, that'd be
Sorry,
I
Rodney.
think that'll work.
I have another joke for you. Who is Santa's favorite singer?
Santa's favorite singer?
Yeah. beyond slay.
No.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Fair singer. No way.
What? Who is it?
I don't know, but it's not beyond slay. I got a joke for you. So.
Yours are always riddles.
No.
When you have to go, so that's a riddle.
You know when we were picking up the Christmas tree the other day?
Yeah.
As I was paying for it,
Yeah.
the guy said, "Are you going to put that up yourself?" And I said, "No, I'm going to put it in the living room, like everybody else."
Ew. Oh boy.
Says, if flown above 200 foot, FAA must be notified. That's not very nice.
Yeah.
Does that mean? How does he know that we're gonna? What? It's a dig on my tuning, or it's a dig on your carburetors?
It's a dig on your tuning.
Oh, I got you.
He makes these for carburetors.
I agree. Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Look at that. Fancy. In case you didn't know, Caddy Jack is a hood-ass no-time car. Man, what a way to fuck up a Cadillac.
That's rude.
All right, you excited? You ready? Let's get some heat in this deal and roll out. Okay, well, as you can see from that pass, our goal was to make sure the car starts, runs, idles, make sure it does a burnout, you know, basically go through sequence of operations, make sure Jackie's comfortable in the car. It is a new car. Make sure that it does what we tell it to do as far as, you know, it's just making sure we have our stuff together. The car has its stuff. Make sure it'll unload out of the trailer. It'll go to the starting line. It'll do a burnout. It'll back up. It'll stage. It'll go on the trans brake. It'll do all those things. The brakes will work. The line lock works. Just making sure that the data logger works and all that stuff. And it's a good thing that that's all our goal was, because if we had a goal of this thing being fast or impressive, we shanked it bad. We started off with a 3,200 RPM launch, and I was a little worried that it was going to spin the tires. There was no chance of that, but I was a little worried, so I just wanted to get data and just see if everything worked. So I put like a 12, 13 degree launch retard in it. Didn't need that. The main goal was just to get data and on everything. Data on us, data on Jackie, data on the car, data on our tools, make sure we have everything we need to get this car to the starting line and get it back in the trailer and make sure, you know, nothing falls off of it, nothing pukes out of it, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is something that we would normally be doing at the racetrack, but our local racetrack is kind of up in the air on what's going on there, so we don't really have a quick local way to test. So this is what we're doing. You know, we don't normally recommend anyone test a brand new car on the street, but you know, we're launching the car on the street and we're just trying to get a handle, because also what's the point in going and shaking the car down at the track and spending all that money and time and energy and everything else if it's just gonna not work or something falls off of it. So luckily for us, we met our goal. Now, you know, if we have a car that will go to the starting line and will do what we tell it, we can figure out how to make it fast. I'm not sure why it was so slow, to be honest with you. I know it makes good power. I know it's a, you know, pretty healthy combination. The car's light. I don't know. Going over the data, we're just going to have to figure out what it is that this car wants and needs. Obviously, maybe not a 10 or 12, 15 degree launch retard. That's probably going to be one thing. Maybe higher launch RPM, who knows. But we need to make sure that the data is there. Make sure it was full throttle. Make sure it was, you know, make sure the shifter worked. Make sure everything was doing what it's supposed to do. So that's what we got to do now, is figure out if everything worked and why it was so slow. Looking at the data from that run, if you could call it a run, you know, it was a planned shutdown, you know, first gear, launch, hit, whatever. And looking at the data, there are a few things that we're questioning here. The wide open throttle switch did not work or didn't see wide open throttle. So we're not 100% sure that the throttle linkage was right or that that it actually went to full throttle. So that could be a reason why it seemed just lethargic. The other thing is it could just be a really tight converter. It shouldn't be, but it could be. The converter charge pressure seems a little high, but we're not going to go straight to making big changes like that. Our next goal after looking at this data is, because the EGTs all worked, all the cylinders were really close. It wasn't super lean. It wasn't super fat. I mean, you know, everything looks to be there. So now we just got to figure out if this is something stupid that we're missing, or is this combination going to need a major change? Before we go doing a bunch of major changes, I think that we should just take this car back out, get the wide open throttle switch fixed, and just make sure that we're getting full throttle, make sure the transmission's in the right gear, make sure the shifter's in the right spot, make sure that we don't take 15 degrees of timing out of it, and maybe raise the launch RPM and just see what happens. If it's still a giant lethargic turd, then it's going to be time to make some changes. But there's no sense in chasing this thing, you know, if it's something stupid. So that's what we're going to do. We have our list of things to do. So unfortunately, though, the weather doesn't look any better for the next few days. So I don't know where we're going to end up taking this thing. But if the weather doesn't get better, or if our track doesn't get their, you know, their situation figured out, then we'll just take it right back out on the street and make another hit. Stay tuned.